Nice.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon if you're joining us from the East Coast. My name is Eduardo Silva. I am the VP of Sales here at Foot Traffic, and I'm going to be your host for today. We will be getting started here in just a couple moments. Let's allow just a few more seconds here, or perhaps a minute, for the rest of our attendees to join, and we'll get started. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join us. Once again, my name is Eduardo Silva. I am your host for today. I'm really excited about today's webinar. But before getting started with Ask Me Anything regarding digital marketing, let us do a quick introduction on ourselves here to frame our conversation for today. A little bit about myself. I am the VP of Sales here at Foot Traffic. I've been with the team since December of last year, and really excited to be joining the industry. Certainly been an advocate for the industry for many years, so much so that a little fun fact about myself, I did graduate from a high school here in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is called San Rafael High School. And for those of you who are aware, that's where the whole 420 movement got its start in the 1970s. So it's certainly been running through my veins for quite some time, and really excited to be part of the industry and also be able to help you navigate these marketing challenges. And to me, with me today is our CEO and founder, Guillermo. I'll allow him to do a quick introduction.
Hi, my name is Guillermo Bravo. I'm the CEO and founder of Foot Traffic. Started the company about 4 years back. Really following my passion. I live and sleep marketing, and I love cannabis. So it was a blessing to really get involved in the industry and grow this company with a great team.
Thank you for that, Guillermo. I'm really excited to be hosting this webinar here with you today, in part because we get to really share a lot of your lessons learned through your career, but also as the founder of Foot Traffic, since you really put this company together based on dispensary, medicinal dispensaries, delivery services needs from day one. So a lot of what you've learned is applicable and can really help drive this industry forward. So thank you so much for taking the time to answer a lot of these questions. A couple items here before we get started. Quick introduction of Foot Traffic. So we are a dispensary digital marketing agency. And really what that means is that we've been in business for around 5 years now, focusing solely in this industry. That is literally, as I alluded to a moment ago, we were founded with a vision of sharing, market boosting activities from marketing for dispensaries, medicinal practices, delivery services from day one 5 years ago when we first started. Guillermo was providing a lot of services to the medicinal side of dispensaries before California even came out with the recreational law. And so once he saw a lot of those successes, he was able to expand into other markets throughout the United States. Today, Foot Traffic is a dispensary marketing service firm, if you will, covering all of the United States as well as Canada. So we're covering all of North America. At any given point, we may be working with around 200 different stores or more, and applying several different marketing strategies that are very dynamic for each one of the markets that those dispensaries are in. So it's really exciting, in part because we get to see how the industry is evolving, right? Especially during this trying times of COVID. So before we get into, the webinar here today, I definitely want you just get us prepared. We had a lot of questions that were already submitted prior to the webinar, but let's take a quick moment here to just navigate the Zoom interface. There is a Q&A section at the top of the screen. So if you navigate there real quickly, just to get familiar with it, in that Q&A, we will be able to actually get your answers in real time, hopefully answer all of them. But a lot of individuals have submitted those questions already ahead of time as well. So please do feel free to go into the Q&A, ask us any questions. This is really a time dedicated for you. So you can walk away with a lot of knowledge. So really the motif of today's meeting is answering your most burning cannabis marketing questions, both with myself as well as Guillermo here. And we're going to be sharing how to get more customers really to your dispensaries and or delivery service. Overall, we get it. Digital marketing can be quite confusing. There are so many different initiatives that we can embark on. But as experts in this field, we want to be able to share our knowledge that we've gained over the years so you can implement the best strategies for your dispensary. And so I'm really, really excited about that. And let's go ahead and jump right in, I guess. If you're just joining us, once again, there is a Q&A button on the top of the webinar Zoom screen. If you have any questions, please do feel free to ask us any of those questions while we're going through the webinar here. Once again, this is a time dedicated to you. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. Guillermo, any thoughts before we get started?
No, I mean, I'm ready to get started. If you want to stop sharing your screen, and we can just do the video one-on-one here.
Let's do it. So perfect. So Guillermo, first question, and this should be a softball for you here, but what is digital marketing and why does it matter for dispensaries?
Great question. So digital marketing is the use of the internet, mobile devices, social media, Instagram, Facebook, search engines, and other channels to reach your customers. So this is crucial for dispensaries as you're highly regulated, and it's and you can track, separate from traditional marketing. You're highly restricted. So digital marketing gives you the ability to reach your customers on their cell phones.
That's great, and I think that it's really important to create a distinction between digital marketing and traditional marketing, right? And you touched on something there, Guillermo, and that is, some of the regulations, right? So compliance. Can you share a little bit more? What are some of the challenges that digital marketing helps overcome, if you will, for dispensaries that are out there trying to build that brand and build that market share? Right, and wanting to use a combination of both?
Yeah, so on the digital marketing front, everything is trackable. So digital marketing gives you the ability to easily track the results and get in front of the right people in a compliant manner. So for example, in California, you need to be able to prove at any time that you're reaching 71.6% of the people have to be 21 and up for those marketing channels. So you need to be able to prove that. And with a lot of traditional marketing, like radio, print, and TV, you're really sharing your message and your advertising with everyone, including people that are underage. So you want to ensure that you're showing your digital marketing to the right people, and with social media, with Google, and with any of these advertising tactics, you can actually choose to only show it to that age range. So it gives you the ability to only show to that group.
Great. And, I guess following up to that, right, why does digital marketing really matter for dispensaries in that case then? Well, what is the key driver there?
The key driver for digital marketing is increasing customers and revenue. So we, when I started a company, I was having trouble coming up with a name, and I kept saying foot traffic, and after a few months of going through names, it's like that's exactly what we want to do is drive foot traffic to dispensaries. So it's as easy as that: website traffic and foot traffic. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we did have a question that was asked here by one of the attendees. How do you leverage these digital marketing platforms for cannabis companies when regulations are preventing ad placement? So we will address this question with some of the other options that we have here in place. I think this is a multi-pronged answer. So just stick around here. You're definitely going to see several different strategies that we can offer, which will be compliant, but also we'll be leveraging the platforms that will not restrict you. And so we do have some great questions here that were asked prior. Guillermo, another question here for you. How do you measure the effectiveness of a digital marketing campaign?
Revenue attribution. We've been talking about this for some time, and that's the key to measuring the success of your marketing campaigns. And revenue attribution is the process of matching customer sales to specific advertising channels. So you can understand where the revenue is coming from and how to optimize your advertising budgets long term. Yeah.
Great. And we did have another question that came in, and I thought this one was pretty interesting. And that is, obviously kind of going back to the question that one of the attendees asked here a little bit ago in terms of what are some of the compliant methods for advertising, since some organizations out there do block a lot of advertisement placement. The question came in from Brian Smith from a dispensary here. And his question is, hey, I live in a rural area. Half of my customers don't really use smartphones. How can you help me advertise and drive customer access or engagement, right, and sales in this type of environment?
Yeah, we face that challenge in some markets as well, in those rural cities, and reaching the baby boomer audience, right? So the easiest way to do that is through traditional marketing, and that's going to be through direct mailers. So you're going to want to print out, that demographic. You'll want to select the different markets that you want to target. Is market meaning addresses or neighborhoods that you'd like to target for direct mailers, and then choose 21 and up so that you are compliant. And then you'll want to print out some advertising on a postcard and send that to that audience. That's the easiest way. Even though they don't have a smartphone, I'm assuming they have a computer at home or maybe an iPad. I know my parents, they don't have smartphones, but they love to use their iPad and they live on that thing. So reaching people through direct mailers and getting them to go on the website when they're at home, that's a great way. Or just ask them to come in. And, if they don't want to request for direction, just or they don't want to engage with you anyway, the traditional ways through a mobile phone, just get them in the store one time and really build that experience with them and show them that you care. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point there. And I would add that, that is one of the services that we do provide our customers to make it a lot easier and just seamless, really, where we use one of our services for direct mailer campaigns. But in addition to that, we integrate those direct mailers with QR codes and or even text message to really engage that individual in real time and track the results directly from those campaigns itself. So very great way to attract individuals that are perhaps going to be a little bit more on that traditional. Let's keep moving it right along here, Guillermo. So that's a great one. Obviously, there are some compliancy challenges there, but we can overcome those compliancy challenges through mailers as well by helping you, making sure that you're not reaching the audience that is below the age requirement in your particular state. So that's one of the great ways. Also going back to the question that was asked by one of our attendees, what types of digital marketing do you think dispensaries should prioritize, Guillermo?
For right now, it would be SEO, which is search engine optimization, SMS, which is text message marketing, geo ads, Google ads, and mailers. These are the ones that have proven to have the most impact on revenue and the most ROI. As opposed to a social media, one of the reasons Facebook, Facebook is a leader, but it's not when it comes to actually driving sales. So, social media is great for getting that initial awareness out there. So, having people recognize your name. But as far as people buying from your website, it's going to be from the channels that I just mentioned.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And then how can I capture customer data and what can I do with it?
Great question. This is really important too. So, the two best ways to capture customer data is through your website and then in the store. So on the website, you'll want to install a pop-up asking customers to join your VIP list or your loyalty program. And it's important that you get their name, email, phone number, and the most important thing is their consent to receiving marketing messages. So you want to make sure that you are compliant in every way when capturing customers' information. And then in store, you want to encourage your bud tenders to ask each customer if they would like to join the loyalty program and if they would like to receive marketing messages with the deals of the week. So, it's really important to build your customer list because, this is going to give you the ability to get your latest deals and any events that you have out to your audience in a quick way. So, building that customer list is really important, and not to mention, when investors are looking at your business, and if you have a large customer list, like 20,000 people, 50,000 people who have agreed to receive marketing messages in there, you can actually, forecast the potential revenue that you'll receive based on that audience. So it's really important that you build that list because it's easier to keep a customer or it's cheaper to keep a customer than to invest in getting a new one.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I just want to highlight that we did a webinar with a legal group called SAGAV, and it's on our foottraffic.co/webinars. I would encourage you, if you want to learn a little bit more about that point that Guillermo just mentioned, of driving equity for your business. I think that's probably one of the biggest, most important thing you could be doing. You don't know what tomorrow may bring, right? You may have part of your strategy to just grow this business, but you may get to a point where you say, hey, you know what? I had a business offer that I don't want to pass on. And here's your opportunity to, do a business merger or sell the business off. The first thing they're going to look at is what is your target list, right? What is your customer base? And they're going to check for compliance, right? Have they opted in? And if not, guess what? Your equity value is going to go down. So one of the things that we do help our customers build is a customer base. And we do that in a very compliant manner so that you can always go back to, these are my customers. These are my customers. We did have a question, Guillermo, come up, and I think this is a really important one to address, maybe taking a quick segue here from the list of questions we received prior. And that is just getting maybe your feedback on, the employment of some of the strategies like Leafly, Weedmaps, or Cannabis on building sales and reputation management for a cannabis dispensary. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I think these are all great channels to get exposure for your brand. They are not all created equal, and it really depends on your location. So Leafly has a big market share in Washington. Weedmaps has a large market share in California and Washington, D.C. So they're really important in those states. Leafly is heavy on the education side. So it is a great resource for customers to learn more about your products and strains. So they built out a fantastic database on Leafly for that. Weedmaps as well. They have large market share. So they're great for you to advertise on, but I wouldn't put all your bets on that one horse, right? So you need to diversify your digital marketing. And we've actually seen, from, let's say from weed maps, that it's great to get customers, let's say for the first 3 months, but then after that, it kind of trickles down and you don't see a lot of new customers from that platform. So you just need to be careful on how you're spending your money, and you need to really track what you're getting from it. So ask Leafly, ask Weedmaps, ask Cannabis for analytics. Like, all right, I'm paying you $5,000 a month. What am I getting for it? So, ask those tough questions, and these platforms should be able to provide that data. How many sales? Weedmaps and Leafly both now accept online orders through their platform. So that's a great way to build revenue on those two platforms. Is any orders that are coming through these marketplaces, just add them to your advertising network. You get them from your website. You get some from Weedmaps, some Leafly, from whatever other platforms that you may choose to invest in. So
that's a great point, Guillermo. And I will add once again, right? We just talked a moment ago about building your equity through customers and making sure that you're opting them in. That is going to be your path towards success and building the equity of the value of your business. One of the challenges that I will say here, right, that differentiates your own digital marketing strategy, and the reason why you don't want to bet all in one horse, is that you're building organically your customer base. If you are investing in these other channels that are just throwing revenue at you, great source of exposure, great source of revenue by all means, but where are those customers? Are you going to be able to retarget them afterwards? Are you going to be able to send them a text message or an email? Are they opting in? Will they be part of your whole dispensary equity in the end of the day? So keep that in mind, and I think that's a really important point. So thank you for that, Guillermo. So I had another question here that was asked prior, and that is, since the government said dispensaries are essential, how have dispensaries pivoted during COVID?
That's a great one. We've had to pivot with the dispensaries on that one, right? So the main thing that occurred quickly was everyone moved to online. So you need to have your online menu on your website quick. You need to be able to accept those online orders, and you need to be able to get out your message to your audience quickly as well. Are you open? What's your hours of operation? Do you allow for curbside pickup? Are you allowing delivery now? Like a lot of dispensaries transitioned quickly as far as their technology, and everything moved to digital, really, since you don't have that experience in store anymore, and a lot of people are hesitant to actually go into stores. These alternatives like curbside pickup and delivery have exploded. And Canada, I know in Vancouver they started to allow delivery. I know like New Jersey they started to allow delivery just during COVID time. So it's great to see the kind of people's appetite and how it's changed and how they're really opening their arms to delivery and digital as a whole. So there was a big difference in companies who really took that on, like head on, and pivoted quickly, or a lot of companies that already had this infrastructure in place, just they didn't have a loss of business during COVID. They actually probably grew during this time. So.
Yeah, and I would say too that, being that I do engage with a lot of clients on a day-to-day basis here with foot traffic, I have noticed that the customers who did not really pivot quickly, they're now realizing that this is the new norm. It really has become the new norm. And I would say this is commentary that comes directly from the clients themselves. They went into this whole crisis thinking, okay, yes, digital marketing was important before, but now digital marketing has been put in the forefront. And now we are transitioning all of our budgets for marketing towards digital marketing fairly quickly. So we have the earlier adopters that were already believers in digital marketing, and now we're seeing the kind of the middle of the road adopters. They're like realizing that this is a new age. And then we're seeing the ones that are probably going to lag a little longer. They're still holding out to see what's to come, right? And if I was a business owner at this point, I always try to put myself in their shoes. Where would I want to be? Do I want to go after the customers that are active? They are having conversations online. Everybody's online right now. They are searching online for services. They're sitting in their couch. They're sitting in their home offices. Some of them may still be going to essential places of business, right? But they're still active. They're having that conversation. My recommendation is always be part of that conversation. And the one way to be part of that conversation is digital, right? If you don't have as much foot traffic out there, right, that people are sort of scared still about this second wave of COVID, be digital, right? Be in front of them. Be part of that conversation.
And a great,
Go ahead.
And a great way to do that is exactly what we're doing right now, Zoom. We've actually had a lot of clients, move all their medical recommendations and whatnot to Zoom. So they're having that conversation. They have that community. In Zoom you can have a kind of like an open room, and you just have to approve people to get in. So yeah, that could be a great way to.
Great. Great point, Guillermo. And I do want to pivot us towards some of the other questions here. We're likely not going to have enough time to cover all of these questions. There's some great questions that have come through for this webinar that we're hosting here. However, if you do have other questions, you can always get in touch with us. We're happy to have that dialogue on a one-on-one basis, have a better kind of view on some of the challenges perhaps you want to overcome. More than happy to do that. The question that we get a lot of, and I think part of it was highlighted here with one of the questions from attendee today, is surrounding Google Ads, right? There's all of this compliance out there. There's a lot of challenges to understand what is right, what is not right. Is Google Ads for dispensaries a good strategy, Guillermo?
Yes, that's one of the best strategies you can implement. You can, the ROI is undeniable. If you have revenue attribution in place, you can quickly launch ads. You just want to be sure that you don't use, cannabis-related terms in your ads, and you can see a boost in traffic, within a few days. So it's a really powerful marketing channel, and the ROI has been it's been undeniable. We're seeing anywhere between $30 to $100 for every dollar that you spend on Google Ads. So it's
wonderful.
Really,
yeah.
really
I would preface too that, I know that we just threw out an average there, but on the high side of Google Ads, we've seen, a customer recently that was doing around $70+ for every dollar spent on Google Ads. So there are those outliers out there. And so you won't know if you are in one of those outlier zones until you try it. And that's why we're actually offering a free 30-day trial of Google Ads to get people familiar with that practice. We are one of the only digital marketing agencies that have been doing Google Ads for the last 5 years for dispensaries and not getting anybody shut down. And in part because of Google's Google Ads certification that we have here, 2 staff members that are part of that program. So we have Guillermo and we have our CMO as well, who are both certified by Google. And so we know how to get it done, and we know how to drive some ROI. Now we have time for perhaps one more question here, Guillermo, and then we'll have to transition. But once again, just want to remind you, you can get in touch with us. There's a schedule a meeting with us function on our website. Happy to address those questions there. Guillermo, the question that came through here is surrounding content for Instagram or social media. How do we actually create verbiage, if you will, for promotions on those platforms without necessarily selling so that you don't get blocked by those platforms? There is obviously the consensus that there's a lot of repetition going on. So we'll answer this question. And once again, this is our final question for today, but we're happy to take some additional questions offline.
Yeah, so one thing is you actually don't want to promote the sale or use of cannabis on Instagram. That's your first thing. Anytime that you do that, you're encouraging someone to report you, and unfortunately, you'll probably be shut down or your post will be flagged. So instead of using Instagram to sell product, you should use Instagram to build your customer list. So if you have a text messaging platform and a keyword, you can say text 420 to this number, and they'll join your customer list, and then that's how you can send promotions to that audience.
Yeah.
But
And
Instagram is a
and that's a great point.
Instagram is very, very powerful as far as creating awareness and being part of that conversation with your audience. But you have to be very conservative with what you say. And my advice would be just proceed more as a lifestyle brand. So show, instead of saying we have this product on sale for $9.99, take a picture of that, when you're out for a hike, using the product, but don't mention the sale or price or anything related to that on the post, or else you will get flagged. People will know that you have that product in stock by, just from that product placement, and they will click on the link in your bio, and then they can visit and learn more from there.
Absolutely. And with that, thank you so much once again for taking the time out of your day to join us. We're super happy that you've dedicated that time with us. We're happy to take any other questions offline. I'm always here and available to speak to you. So is Guillermo. And Guillermo, any closing remarks?
No, I mean, it's, when you are taking on the task of marketing your dispensary, just know that you are not limited right now. There's a lot of channels out there that work and that are proven and that can help make a big impact on your business. So, don't rely just on the traditional, billboards or radio ads or, just traditional tactics. There's a lot of digital marketing channels and guerrilla marketing that you can do that just make a huge impact on your business. So there's a lot of support there for you, and we're more than happy to help and make an impact with you. So
wonderful. Thank you so much once again, Guillermo, for joining us here. Thank you, team, and thank you, attendees, for taking the time out of your day. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and please stay safe.